Alright, so this is a Linux distribution, and I've been kind of bored lately, admittedly. Although now my computer somewhat works, I just need to order some parts and then I should be fine. But today I was like talking to JDinks, and I was like, somebody had mentioned, what was that honeypot distro that was made to like catch Nazis? And he said, oh, I actually did a video on one a while ago called Alien OS. Now, Alien OS, I don't really know a whole lot about it, and that's kind of the problem. Is I did install it on bare metal, which was probably a horrible idea because this really does seem like a honeypot. But basically, what this is, it's a Debian with the MX Linux tool suite on top of it, as well as some anti-X packages. And for the most part, oh, and it uses like i3 Regolith, and it's got Liquorix kernel, but it's based on like Debian 12.9. So it looks like by their last website update, they were updated on February 9th. So the of course the only problem is when you decide to install it, it defaults to German because this is a German distribution for obvious reasons. But it's like the bad kind of German, you know what I mean? So you download it from SourceForge and it's like slow as shit, but they call it a high speed download. But once you're actually in it, this is actually surprisingly good. Now, I'm not actually sure if I'm using Novu or not. I'm probably using Novu. I don't know what kind of NVIDIA drivers it installed, but for right now, they work fine. So I'm like, just leave it alone. But, yeah, it's obviously got the fucking black sun as their, as their logo. So then you might think to yourself, well, it's called Alien OS. Maybe they're just fucking schizos. You know, maybe they're really into occult stuff, you know, because there's a lot of history between the Black Sun and like UFOs and shit. But then you go into, let's see if I can do this. This is actually hardened Florp, which is cool. Let me make sure I'm not doxing myself here. So you go to add-ons, and it comes with all this shit pre-installed but disabled. So you might notice that you have some ads when you start up. So I install decentralized. I still don't care about cookies and uBlock Origin, but you can install all this other shit. But one of them was remove German gender language, and this has actually been removed from the Firefox web store. But what it does is in Germany, I've only taken German for like 3 years. This wasn't a thing when I was taking German, but around 2020, corporations decided to add immer I don't remember. They added some shit to like everybody's gendered nouns, and it was more gender inclusive basically. And that really pissed off boomers, but it also pissed off the German right-wing parties. And so they eventually either had it banned or were going to have it banned. And this add-on basically just removes all that gender inclusive language. So I was thinking at first maybe this is just schizophrenics that are like really into aliens, but no, it does seem like they have some right-wing German stuff going on here, as well as like maximum privacy or whatever. Now the problem is since their shit's on SourceForge, I don't actually know what goes on in this distribution. It's very possible that all my shit's being sent to like a German military, you know, kind of like the North Korean distro, you know, where it just sends all. Actually, they never found any spyware in Red Star OS, which is surprising. I guess you have to like install that manually or something. But they did, or but this distribution, I mean, obviously it's never been audited. Nobody's ever fucking heard of it, and if they did hear about it, they probably shit their pants. So like this is one of those weird distributions, but I thought it was interesting that they shipped Florp because of the recent Firefox drama, and so people were recommending, you know, oh, we'll go to LibreWolf, and I'm like, LibreWolf's kind of like too privacy conscious, you know. Like for a daily use browser, I just want something. I'll use Brave because they're like reasonably private, but super hardcore or hardened Firefox is not really my thing. And Florp, in this case, is using a hardened Florp. So what they're doing is they're using, I think they're using Arkenfox, but I know that they're using some other privacy enhancements on top of Florp, which is supposed to it basically turns it into LibreWolf. It doesn't have sync anymore. It doesn't save your password, or actually it does save your passwords if you want it to. But it just seems like it's some weird Florp with stuff pre-installed, you know. As far as I know, this does seem pretty privacy focused. That comes with a bunch of software pre-installed, and normally this would be in German, but I switched to English because I speak enough German to get around the interface. But it comes with like VS Codium. It comes with, for like coding and stuff and text editor. I installed Desktop as a Flatpak. It has FreeTube by default, so you don't have to sign into Google, which is cool. That's cool that they have it. I installed Thunar because this comes with the Nord theme pre-installed, but they ship Nautilus, so I was like, oh, I'll have to. And it actually took a while to figure out how to configure Regolith because unlike i3, which just has like one config file, Regolith's got like fucking 20 of them, and you never know exactly where things are going to be stored. It's in like several different directories, including user, Etsy, fucking, uh, .config and all that, and it's very confusing. But eventually, once you figure it out, there's like a cheat sheet for Regolith to figure out where everything's stored. So, this is an interesting distribution, but the first thing I noticed though, it says, I need to translate this. Where did my translate button go? Dang. I don't have a translate button anymore, but okay, I may need to do something about that. I haven't actually tried translating while I'm on this page. Anyways, what this means is support chat. So it says consistent updates or constant updates or whatever, and support chat. So I actually emailed them because they have a. They also only take crypto for donations besides PayPal. But Alien Tech, this is their. Go on and load. Hang on a second. Let me see where Alien Tech is. Oh, there it is. I see it. All right, Alien Tech. So alientech.com. This is like a German website over here. Alien Tech. If it'll load, come on, load. There we go. All right, so this is kind of a weird website. It's got. They have a contact option. Now, I haven't actually gotten a response from here, but I actually asked them. I said, "Where is this support chat?" And what's weird is it says it's been active since like 2007. So I'm like, how fucking old is this thing? Like, and it looks like they have a bunch of dead projects like GNU/Linux.com, Magnum Opus, Trash Factory, and Uprechnung. Okay, I don't know what that means, but it looks like it's German developers doing German things. So that's really funny. But yeah, I don't know how long I'd stick with the distribution like this. The CachyOS is probably a lot better suited for what I'm doing. And for some reason, my temperature says 84°, but I know for a fact that my computer at idle runs at like 35. So like, the temperature's way off. It's like, holy shit, man! I'd be like fucking thermal throttling in here. But Regolith seems pretty cool. It works. That's about the best I can expect. Is it fucking works? And I haven't even tried gaming on this thing. I don't even know if I want to. I don't know if I want to even try. But I'll take a look more deep into it. But this distribution just sketches me out so bad because they're on SourceForge. I don't really see a GitHub for anything. I don't see where their code is. I don't see any way to audit them. But it's free, so whatever. Uh, it, it's obviously, if you know what you're looking at, you know that this is a neo-Nazi website. But if you don't know what you're looking at, I guess they can get by with a little bit of this stuff. I just think it's really interesting what they've put out here. It's very strange. It's a very strange distribution. It's not like anything I personally, but it makes me want to try MX Linux because it turns out the MX Linux tools are actually really cool, and that's why they're in here, obviously. But yeah, it's really it's really interesting to see this because if you go on DistroWatch, this distribution was on there for uh, under problematic trademarks or localization issues. And I think what they mean by that is it's a German distribution, so it ships in German without any way to change it from the beginning. So when you set up that demo ISO, you're going to see a boot screen all in German. And then you're going to see menus and applications and folders all in German. But if you change your locale, what Linux does is it'll say, oh, do you want to rename all your folders so they're not in German anymore? And that's pretty easy to do. It does default to a German layout keyboard as well, without. I don't think you really need to change it in the installer. Nothing really uses special keys, and most of the layout's about the same. But you can also change it within the demo ISO to change your normal keyboard layout. So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is. I mean, I'm using it, obviously, but it's, don't expect this kind of content from my channel. Oh, I wanted to talk about VMs because I set up on CachyOS because I'm not fucking installing this thing on hardware. I'm gonna try a VM first, see what happens. And what had happened was I tried booting it up in a VM. It did work, but the problem was it the network didn't work for some reason. And I checked and I had a wired connection and I could set one up manually, but it just wouldn't connect. So I'm like, it could bridge, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what to do. So I said, okay, fuck it. After a few attempts at that, I was like, let me just install it on Metal, or not install it, but I'll set up the demo on Metal. And what had happened there was I tried it on Ventoy because obviously I'm going to use Ventoy. I don't want to dedicate a whole drive to this. But Ventoy didn't work. It said you need to load a kernel before an image or a rootfs or whatever. And so I was like, okay, well, I did try grub 2 mode. It might only work in grub 1 mode. I don't really know. But I was like, okay, well, let me just put a DD on a drive, and that actually did work. And then I was like, okay, well, let me install it and see what happens. And I did install it. It seems to work fine. It's Debian with some MX stuff and Licorice kernel and all that. So, whoop-de-doo, cool beans. But I do want to know the humans behind this distribution, and I think that's part of the problem because there's also no documentation, like at all. Like other than this cheat sheet, you don't get jack shit. So, so I'm like, oh well, if you have any problems with the distribution, I mean, good fucking luck, good luck. But I thought it was funny to check out because I saw the Black Sun and I was like, oh, the Lunduk fans would fucking love that. It's the most unwoke distribution on the planet. So yeah, that's what I'm up to today. I am slowly losing my sanity, maybe more quickly than it used to be. But yeah, that's about what's going on. Thanks.